Mamastalgia.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Childhood podcast. If you're a sentimental mum trying to give your kids a joy-filled childhood, then you've found yourself in the right place. This is a space for memory collectors, photography hobbyists and pros alike, and mums just trying to do their best. Here we will be talking about all things motherhood, as well as learning to create artful photos of our kids with our big girl cameras. So go ahead, get cozy, and let's dive in. All right. Hello, everybody. I am very excited because today on our third podcast episode, I have a guest with me, my beautiful friend Jade. I could think of no one who would be a better first guest, firstly, to help me feel comfortable and also to share all the wisdom that she has. She is truly full of so much great stuff. And she's one of those people that I will very often go to with my very random, sometimes deep, sometimes not questions. Sometimes it'll be like hey, what font should I use for this? Or sometimes it'll be like, oh my gosh, my kids are blowing up and help, what would you do in this situation? So you may know her as Jade Archives or Jade Archives Photography, and I'll do my best to give her a bit of a worthy introduction, and I'll get her to fill in the blanks after that, and maybe she can give us a little talk about her story and how she has wound up here today. But firstly, we met on Instagram, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Which I never knew that you could make great friends on Instagram. Jade is probably one of my first good close friends that I've met online. Kind of feels a bit like online dating, like it's just become the normal these days where you can just get to know people in a different level. She slid into my DMs.
Sure did.
Which is funny to look back on because that kind of is more my character of something I would probably do, like make the first move with a friendship or whatever, but it was clearly meant to be. And we went to the local water park with our kids. Jade just was like, I just noticed, we're both photographers and we have kids around the same age. And our kids are actually very close in age, both of them.
And we were both pregnant.
Yes.
I was like, this is a match made in heaven. Yeah. I have to slide into her DM.
Yes. And it was a hot day, much like it is today. So, yeah, that was the start of a beautiful friendship for us, hey, Jade. Yes. We live nice and close to each other, and we even had like our third babies, our business babies, quite from a similar time as well. I feel like we've kind of been at similar stages throughout our business. I'm not here to talk too much about business today, but it's been really good to have someone who I feel like is in my corner with the business stuff, with the life stuff, with the parenting stuff. And I really think you're going to get a lot out of, no pressure, Jade, out of listening to her today. Do you feel the pressure?
I do.
Building that expectation nice and high. Mm-hmm. Jade, would you like to talk a little bit about who you are, what you do, and help us get to know you a little bit better?
So I am Jade and I am a family photographer. Not always what I've done, but it has become, I guess, my biggest passion, both in a business sense and personally as well. So before I was a photographer, going way back, I started out as a graphic designer. So I studied visual communication design and I worked in the corporate industry in graphic design, and then I moved into marketing a little bit more as well. And then in 2016, my husband got an opportunity for us to move overseas with his job. So I had never been really that passionate about the corporate world. It had never felt like a really good fit for me. I always felt like there was something more out there. I wanted to build something of my own, but I did learn a lot from working for other people and being in that world. And I sort of took that and decided that with the opportunity to start fresh in a totally new place, that what I really wanted to do was start a travel blog. And I had been using my camera just in my personal life for a little while at that point, maybe a few years, taking lots of photos on holidays and trips and just at home as well. And I feel like as soon as I picked my first camera up, I just fell in love with it for some reason. And I remember distinctly taking this photo of a pair of shoes and flowers for whatever reason. I was trying to be creative and just thinking like, this is a photo I will think back to as a moment in time. It just felt very pivotal for some reason. Like the photos, I don't even know where it is, or it's probably not even that good, but it just felt really right. And for some reason is a memory that sticks out to me. And I feel like from that point on, I just was using my camera as much as I possibly could. And I just loved it. And I loved getting better at it and exploring new ways to be creative with it. And so then when we did move overseas, I decided that blogging would be a great option for me because I do also love writing and words. So combining those two things, and because we were going to be in the middle of Europe where traveling was very accessible at the time, that just felt like a really good fit and I was just going to give it a go. So I spent 5 years over there doing that and it went really well. And it was a really great opportunity for me to be using my camera all the time. Funnily enough, actually, about maybe 2 years into that, I dropped my camera and yes, and I broke the lens that I was using. And for some reason, just felt like I wasn't worthy enough of buying a new one yet. I'm like, I have to keep using this one until I'm good enough for a better camera or a better lens.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I was also kind of like punishing myself for dropping it. So it only worked in manual mode. I couldn't do any like aperture priority or auto or anything like that.
Could you autofocus?
I could autofocus.
Oh, okay, good. Thank
Yes.
goodness.
The focus was fine. It was the light meter that I had to do by eye. Like the light meter just didn't work and I could only use the camera in manual mode as well. So in a way, it was really good because it really forced me to be super intuitive with my camera and to know it back to front because I literally had to do everything with the settings. So I did that for about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Nothing like a bit of like boundaries to make your creativity or like
Yes.
yeah, really help you just get past a problem.
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah.
And I'm not a technical person and I've never been that interested in the techie side of photography. So it really did force me to explore that a bit more and get a lot better at it.
Yeah.
I think was good for me in hindsight. It felt like it was meant to be. And then when I had my first baby in 2020 at the height of COVID overseas.
Good time for a baby, really. Couldn't have planned that better, hey, Jade?
Fantastic timing. I finally, maybe it was like the postpartumness that finally pushed me to be like, that's it, I'm getting a new camera.
Push present.
I deserve this now. I've earned it. So I went and bought myself a mirrorless camera and a much nicer lens or two. And
you earned it. Hey, I feel like all those years of
yes.
being stuck on your old camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
It felt like such a treat.
Yeah.
It was so nice. And it was so funny because as soon as I did that, it just felt like a door opened up where the possibilities of what I could now create had become so much greater. And it was all a mindset thing. Like,
yeah. It's not like the camera itself, right?
No. I could have taken, okay, it was a much better camera.
Yeah.
But it still could
I know the feeling. It's like 10% the camera like it played a part. Yeah.
Yeah. I could have morphed myself into the family photography world with my old camera.
Yeah.
But I guess it just didn't feel professional enough having a broken camera and working for other people. And it was also very like entry level. So yes, as soon as I got that new camera, I can't even remember making a decision to try and offer family photography, but it just kind of unfolded very naturally. It was COVID. I couldn't travel. My travel blog had really come to a halt. I had a newborn or a very young baby. And so I had been on maternity leave anyway.
Yeah.
But coming back into really needing to work for myself more so than financially, I'm like, I need to have my own thing again outside of motherhood. And I'd had enough of maternity leave. And because I had built up a bit of a following in my local area of mums, it just kind of happened naturally when I had my baby. I just put on my stories. I think that I was offering some mini sessions and they booked out straight away. And they really resonated with the followers I already had. And my business has really snowballed from that point on and has just kind of grown and flourished into what it is today.
Do you find that when you went from that transition from, you had to kind of lay down your travel blog in a sense to like pivot into something new? I'll pivot, the word of 2020. Do you feel like having photography there was helpful to kind of take your mind off things, or did you kind of feel like you lost a bit of your identity at the same time?
Yeah, there was a lot of identity loss happening. I guess it was a crazy time. I feel like being able to hold on to the photography element throughout, whether it was blogging or taking photos for families, it did take me a while to let go of the blogging, and it did linger on. Like my two businesses kind of overlapped quite a bit for a while until my family photography business grew so much that it kind of pushed the blog to the side, and it kind of just didn't have time for both anymore. And I decided that that's what I'd prefer to be focusing on anyway. So it definitely didn't just stop overnight.
Yeah.
It was something that I had poured my heart and soul into for so long. I couldn't just switch that off. So it was definitely a overlap, phasing out kind of period of time. But having my camera was definitely my lifeline to keeping, I guess, like you say, that kind of like identity outside of motherhood.
Yeah. And that's something I really love about photography. And it was kind of a lifeline for me as well. I've explained before that I was made redundant from my job. It was just so nice to have something that really filled my own cup. And I was like, I'm doing this for me, but it's also something I can do with my kids because they were my muse. So I was like, I'm photographing my kids, but it's like I was learning a new skill at the time, shooting in manual mode or whatever it was that just made me feel like I was more than just a tub of milk for my child, and kept me like mentally stimulated. But I was also studying psychology at the time, so I was
maybe too stimulated.
Yeah, I was too stimulated, but it wasn't as like crazy as that. So that was nice. Thank you for sharing that with us, Jade. So obviously, you kind of came into that motherhood time during COVID, and that's what we're mostly here to talk about today, because I know that this particular podcast I'm wanting to be about photography, but also about kind of that motherhood side and the art of childhood. So creating like a really beautiful space for your children. I was thinking about this morning. While it's about the child, so much of it does start with us as mothers and getting our space kind of right and getting our head right and operating out of that. And obviously if we have a partner as well, also creating that family environment. But you introduced me to a book and you were like, you have to read this. It's really good. And I was like, right, if Jade's recommended it. I'm very influenced by your recommendations.
It's the inner blogger in me.
Yes. Whether it's the the decor recommendations or like font recommendations, whatever it is, I'm like, oh yeah, Jade has good ideas. So it must be so fun being that person. And then I was like, oh well, I have a little holiday coming up. I thought I'd try and see if it was in bookstores. It wasn't in my local bookstore, and I know if I got a paper copy, it would never get read. And then if I got an audio copy, I would go through it so many times. So I got the audio book and I so enjoyed it. I really sped through it, and I do want to read back over it again because it's amazing how quickly it can fall out of your brain. And with parenting books, and I guess any books, you take different parts out of it depending what part of the journey you're at. So I'm interested to read it again in a year or maybe even less, just to see how it sticks out to me again. Would you introduce what book that was and tell us like a little bit of an overview about what it is?
Yes, you've really built this up. The suspense.
The expectation. I hope you have the author memorized as well, Jade.
What's it called?
It's an easy title, 3 words.
Yes. Okay.
Great.
So the book that I recommended to Courtney is called Hunt, Gather, Parent. And I am very into self-help books and parenting books, and I struggle to read anything else. But this is one of the more recent ones I have come across and devoured and am reading for a second time at the moment. It is kind of a deep dive into Western parenting and how we do things now and just the ways that it is not really working. If you think about how many of us are burnt out, stressed out, overwhelmed, anxious, I feel like I've always felt like that says a lot for the way we're doing things mustn't be quite right. It can't be meant to be this hard all the time. And to see so many of the mums around me going through the same things, I guess that's probably the reason why I picked this book up in the first place, because the front cover and the little tagline really stood out to me. And I wish I'd written the tagline down now, but it's basically looking at the Western style of parenting and then the contrast of that, which is the parenting of ancient cultures and the wisdom that has been around for hundreds and thousands of years before Western culture kind of kicked in the last 200 years or so. And it's about a journalist who takes her 3-year-old daughter and travels to 3 different ancient cultures around the world and observes how they parent and observes the way their children are just in everyday life and learns a lot from them and then brings all of those lessons into this book and shares them. It's just, I found it quite like a revelation. Is that is that the right
Revelatory.
Yes. How do I put that in this sentence? And yeah, it resonated.
Yeah.
Yes. And then started implementing bits and pieces into my own life and with my own children, and just seeing the very quick impact or quick change that it seemed to make for us.
Yeah, so the tagline was what ancient cultures can teach us about raising children, which you beautifully put there. And that was an interesting one for me because I guess in a lot of my values, I do feel very traditional. I felt like at the beginning of my parenting, I really wanted to be cutting edge and like everything that's like the shiny new way of doing things. And it's so hard when, you know, you have a baby in this day and age, there's so much information out there, which is crazy. And a lot of it is conflicting. This could present another conflicting view for people, this book, but it's things that have worked for thousands of years. And I do think it's worth kind of looking back on traditions that have really worked. Obviously, the human race has still survived, so they've done something right? You said that you've noticed some kinds of changes in your kids which happened quite quickly. I have too, actually. Would you like to share some of the biggest takeaways that you think you found from the book?
Yes, I think the first one I really noticed quite quickly was just the way I've been taking the wrong angle on things, I guess, and making things harder for myself. And it's hard, and until you read the book, it's hard to imagine like how everything could be so backwards. But that's how I felt initially when I started reading it. I was like, oh wow, like we've got this all so backwards.
Yes.
And no wonder we're struggling. And so that was a really nice feeling to just feel like, okay, there's an answer here. And then in terms of implementing different elements of the book, I would say that one of the biggest ones I have found that made quite a quick impact was allowing the kids to help me with things that I would normally brush them away, put their attention on something else, tell them to go and play, because it is pretty annoying sometimes when they try and help. It actually does not feel helpful at all.
1 step forward, 10 steps back.
Yes, it requires a lot more patience and it requires you to let go of getting that thing done, seeing the value in them helping you. I guess learning about how very young babies and toddlers, that desire to help is so built in for them. And we so quickly kill it, really. We squash it. And then when they're older, we wonder why they don't offer to help.
I know.
And I'm like,
It's
wow,
like so obvious, right?
this is so obvious. Yeah, so just being open to whenever they offer to help, want to help, snatch the broom off you or, stick their hands in whatever you're cooking instead of that initial reaction of being like, no, stop, go away, do something else. I'll do this. It's too hard for you. Taking a moment, taking a breath and being like, yes, okay.
Yes.
You can help me.
Totally.
And then just seeing the joy that they get out of it and the value they find in it and the connection you can have over it and the way it just feels very like nourishing once you let go of the annoying side of it. And then seeing how quickly they start offering to help with other things. It has this kind of effect that then they are helping with things that are actually helpful. Like, for example, I am usually the one who carries all the bags from the car after school, and I have to go up a big flight of stairs to get to my front door. So I'm here like lugging 2 school bags and lunch boxes, and if I've got groceries and my bag and all the stuff, and they're just gone. Whereas now they're like, hey, Mummy, I'll carry my bag. And they both put their bags on and we're all working together to get upstairs. And that's actually helpful.
Yes.
So, I'm like, okay, here's the payoff for those smaller tasks that they don't need a lot of practice on. And I think just that kind of showed me very quickly the value in letting them help with the more annoying things. And I found that very eye-opening to learn that then when the author is visiting these communities and there's 12-year-olds who get up out of bed and do the dishes without being asked and tell their mum when they get home from work, you look tired, sit down, I'll clean the house. Like, okay, I see.
The payoff.
Yes, I see. Yes, the payoff is there. And it's just like something clicked for me. Like this makes so much sense when you point, like when you look at it like this, when it's pointed out to you like this, we're squashing any desire they have to help. And then we're wondering why we have all these lazy tweens and teenagers.
And it's funny because I think it actually comes from a good place of the mum carrying all the bags up the stairs. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
It's because you're like, I'm here to serve you. I love you. All of that. It comes from a place that you're just wanting to be a mum in our idea of what a mum has always done. And you look at 70s shows where the mum's just slaving in the kitchen and everyone's out, just chilling and playing and stuff. And that's what we've really been brought up on. So it's like I had to kind of take a beat and be like, oh, this is not coming from a bad place. It's just completely misguided.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. We feel like we're doing the right thing. You want to be the caretaker and the mama hen and look after them. And I think a bit of that helicopter parent mentality is in all of us, the way it's unfolded. But yeah, just seeing the value in the opposite of that and realizing the damage, I guess, that it's actually doing when we try and be too controlling and be too caring, that we're kind of almost clipping their wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, like I guess you think of, oh, well, right now I'm cooking on a hot plate. Like I don't feel comfortable with my 2-year-old. But something else that she pointed out in the book is like there's always something that they can do to help. It's like, no, they don't have to be up flipping pancakes on the hot plate if you're not comfortable with that yet. But they can stir the batter. They can pass you something, like never saying no to that bid to help. And I noticed this very quickly because as soon as I read it, I was like, oh my gosh. And I just noticed how much I say no. And then they do just stop asking. And then it's like this mentality of, instead of like the kids and the parents being separate, like it feels like there's this dividing line. You're just like bringing them into the space as one family. These days I get the kids will help put the dishes away after dinner and things. And even though I've kind of implemented this for a while, like you got to think about all the years that they've been trained the other way. It's going to take some time for their mindset to like flip back into this new way. One of my kids was like, oh, but that's daddy's plate. I was like, yep. Yeah, well, we're all one team. We're one family. We help each other out. Daddy helps you with this, and so you can help daddy with that. But definitely the biggest thing I noticed was, and my poor husband who will be listening to this podcast, it's funny when you listen to or read a book and you have all these like mindset shifts and these revelations, and then your poor husband has not had them. So
you expect him to know what's going on.
Exactly, because they should be able to read minds.
Read my mind. Aren't you
exactly
up
We're
to
on the
date,
same page,
right?
Like, come on, keep
I
on board.
implemented this morning. You should know by tonight what's going on.
And so I'd be there in the kitchen, and Duke would be like, "Oh, can I pour the cereal?" And he'd be like, "Oh no, like it's messy." And I'm like, like that's not how we do things, Brenton. The poor guy.
Shame on you.
He clearly does not know how to traditionally parent these kids. And so then I had to gently introduce the different kind of concepts. But I agree. I think one of the biggest concepts from the book was that helpfulness, and toddlers are really just naturally such helpful creatures. So I encourage everyone listening, just like take time to really pay attention and kind of switch your mind onto that. And I set you a challenge not to say no to help when it comes, and just see how quickly they start to offer it in all different kinds of situations.
Yeah, I feel
Very
like
amazing.
if you even just did that for one day, if it feels like a lot, and it feels a bit stressful, just make it a day where you just let them help with anything they want to help with, and you'll see very quickly the rewards.
Yeah.
I think one thing that particular concept highlighted for me was how individual our society is at the moment, like focused on the individual. Everything's customized and got people's like personalized names on it, and we're all about the individual.
Yeah.
And you can see how much that's really breaking down the community and the group and the family, because we're also focused on ourselves, and that's what we're teaching our kids, this very self-centered mentality that just doesn't play into the idea of everyone being a team and working together and all these beautiful concepts we would love to have as part of our families, but we're just not enabling that or nourishing that innate desire our children are born with. For some reason, I guess it's probably to do with consumerism and all that fun stuff.
I think you're robbing them of that real joy and deep satisfaction that does come from being an altruistic person who thinks about the collective. Maybe it's not the same way for everyone, so I can't speak for everyone, but when I do something for a friend or to help someone, like that is one of the deepest satisfactions I feel like I can feel as a person.
Yes.
Is when I'm not just focusing on myself. Focusing on yourself just leads to isolation, it leads to loneliness, it leads to like, where's my village? Like, it's like, well, are you being the village?
It's
you know
like,
what I mean?
woe is me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just kind of keeps feeding into itself.
Self-perpetuating.
It's like, yes. Oh, that was a good word.
It took a while. It was
worth the wait.
Yes.
So obviously this is a study on more ancient traditions, and it kind of compares it to Western society. One of the ways I find is so funny is the way that we've broken down into these tiny little groups, and it feels like we're so disconnected from extended family. Even just the way that globalization has come into a little bit. Some people will move overseas or in different towns. And I guess technology has allowed us to live this way as well, and probably encouraged us to live this way. I just feel like living more in close connection with extended families and having that help from cousins and aunties and all of that, like it not feeling like it's all on mum. Even a lot of mums have to work these days. So it does feel like it's such a different landscape, cost of living than in those traditional times where you're in kind of those little village settings. But I do feel like that kind of thing has contributed, and you can create community with friends who have other kids. And I've always thought it's a nice idea to like have a group of mums, and one mum goes off and has a time to herself while the other mums are hanging out and helping with the kids, and you kind of take it in turns and different stuff like that. So there are ways that you can bring these elements into our Western life. Hey mama, if you want to create heart-melting photos of your kids with your big fancy camera but have no idea how to use the thing, I want to give you a free gift. I'm generous like that, okay? I have created a baby steps guide which will help you flip your camera into easy mode and begin photographing your kids right away. You can get it at mamastalgia.co/camera-babysteps-guide and download it free. That's a bit of a roundabout way of asking, where do you feel like Western society has kind of gone off course with parenting or family?
We live so differently now, as in very recent history, 100, 200 years, versus how we lived for tens of thousands of years before that. It's only so recently that we've become these like nuclear families, as opposed to living in the village, the community, the intergenerational homes. And I think that has to be one of the biggest reasons that we've gone so off track, because we've become so isolated. We've lost that intergenerational wisdom getting handed down from family to family.
Yeah.
And guess that's left us in a place where we really are just making it up as we go.
Yeah.
You know, all that information that is out there, as is mentioned in the book, has come from the most random places, like the sleep advice we get for babies and discipline advice we get, and all the different elements that come into parenting that we get now are not from those ancient cultures, are not from that ancient wisdom. It's from a doctor, some dude doctor 100 years ago who needed something, some kind of sleep solution that would help him in an orphanage with 100 babies to get to sleep.
Right.
It's
And then that's being applied to everyone. It's like, it's not really applicable.
like, where have these ideas come from? We don't really question it.
Yeah. And especially these days with TikTok. And it's like, dude, who is that person? Like, they're not even a doctor. Like, what are they? They're a psychopath. We just don't know. Like,
Yes. Probably going off track a little bit, but that overwhelm of how many different information sources we have and how quickly we can access answers to any questions.
Yeah.
But where are those answers coming from, and where's the evidence that works? Where's the long-term proof? I think she also does talk about this in the book, that the things we implement now, when they are put into a study and properly researched, are proven to not actually work. One of the examples she gave was the profuse amount of reward and praise we give our children is actually having the opposite effect than what we want it to have. The more, and this has been shown in research, the more you reward them, the more you praise them, the less motivated they are to do that thing again. It's just a system that doesn't work, but you ask
Give them
Google,
lots of praise.
Yes, reward charts and star jars. And I'm guilty of the star jar myself, which I've now packed away. But
it was a very aesthetic star jar, so that's a shame.
From Etsy, I know, it was an investment. Like, how else can I use this beautiful star jar that's not a star jar?
That's funny.
Yes, so there have definitely been things that I've had to let go of. That's something I just assumed was the right thing to do without really thinking about it on more than the surface level.
I've done some study in psychology, and there's a few things that have glued to my brain, not a lot, but that is definitely one of them, is about the intrinsic and the extrinsic motivation for people. Are you doing something because it makes you feel good inside, or it rewards you internally and it fills that sense of wanting to do it? Or are you doing it for extrinsic rewards? Are you doing it for praise? And actually, by giving someone that reward or praise or that extrinsic motivator, you're replacing the internal motivation that they have, and that internal motivation fades away. You're not doing something for the love of it anymore. You're doing something to get praise or to get recognition or to get likes on Instagram. I don't know, what's an example? Post a beautiful photo. And you are then replacing the love of just creating that photo with, I hope I get the likes, because you're
Yes.
wanting that external. You switch from the caring of just like, I love doing this, to like the people pleasing side kind of thing.
Yes,
So,
that's a great example, because it should be about the joy you get out of creating that thing and how much you love it
Yeah.
and how good it feels to share it,
Yeah.
rather than how many likes you get.
Yeah.
So you could create something you love and then get not as many likes as you think it deserves.
Yeah.
And then you feel crappy about that thing.
And it ruins the whole thing. Like, what if you put your photo of your shoes and flowers on Instagram and no one?
I think I did.
Did it hit though? It probably hit.
I don't know. It's a very long time
It slapped.
ago. So slapped.
Guys, I'm trying to keep up to date on my lingo.
Yes, she's keeping me up to date too. It wasn't like a month or so ago you sent me a message with the word slap in it, and I was like, slap?
I think that's what the kids are saying these days.
I think so. Yeah, I felt very old at that.
I think it was on some stupid show that I was watching at the time, but
it's a good place to get your lingo from.
I know, stupid shows probably mean something not good as well. So just scrub that from your brains, people. I'm not saying like this book is like the be all and end all of existence. My personal philosophy with books is you kind of take what you can from them, and there's some things that usually won't align. So you kind of got to test some things, be open-minded about it. But if it's something that you're like, oh, really doesn't sit well with me, doesn't mean you have to go and do it just because a cool book told you so. I guess for us, this book hit a lot of right notes, which is why we're sharing it. But yeah, would you give me an example of kind of what is been the tone of your house before reading this book and like since kind of implementing? Does it feel like it's changed that much?
Yeah, it does. It does. I think one of the side effects it's had that I wasn't expecting is that I feel like a much calmer mother, and I feel more aligned with that mom I always thought I would be before I actually was.
Had to do it.
Yes, before the reality.
Yeah.
I think implementing quite a few of her strategies, or these ancient strategies, have really not only had a positive effect on my children, but also have had a positive effect on my identity as a mother.
Yeah.
And I just find myself feeling a lot calmer. Not all the time. It's a journey. It's a process. We all have better days than others, but overall, it's definitely had me feeling a lot calmer. My kids also, I feel like, arguing less. They are definitely offering help more and showing like just beautiful initiative sometimes. For example, on the weekend, I was having a tough time with my 3-year-old, and basically he was just yelling at me for no reason.
Just your classic tough time with a 3-year-old.
I wasn't feeling so good. I was just a bit upset. And so I decided to remove myself from the situation, and I just went and sat down outside and kind of had my head in my hands, just breathing. And I had made like a bit of a snack platter for lunch, and I hadn't eaten any of it yet because I was too busy getting yelled at. And Ollie, while I had my head in my hands, went and made me a plate of food, and he brought it over to me, and he was like, "Here, Mummy, I made this for you."
Oh, stop.
Yes, and I could have cried, but just like little things like that where they just, do something out of their own will and desire, and you could see how much joy he got out of making that for me, and seeing me smile when I like lifted my head up, and I was like, oh,
That's
yes.
beautiful. That would have really cheered you up.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Meanwhile, 3-year-old's still screaming. So I think it's definitely just brought a greater sense of calmness to our home. I think because you do see the benefit of letting go of a lot of things, like allowing them to help, letting go of another great one that I really feel like I need to share.
Please.
It used to take me and Courtney knows this because I whine about it a lot. It used to take me a very long time to get from the front door to the car.
Oh my gosh.
Holy moly, you wouldn't believe. I timed it one day and I was like 20 minutes early. It literally took me 20 minutes to get from the front door
Oh my gosh.
to the point where we were buckled in the car and ready to go.
I feel so stressed.
Which then you're
during
running
that.
late when you know your morning's already quite tight.
Yeah.
So one of the ideas in the book is to lead by example, and that the more we are pushing our kids, come on, put your shoes on, come on, get dressed, brush your teeth, have you brushed your teeth yet? Shoes. The more we push, the more they resist, the more stressed we are, the more stressed they are. Instead, the suggestion is to just give them some cues, which are natural cues. So I always grab their school bags, take them out to the front. They're at the door ready to go. I put my shoes on. I get my keys. And so I decided one day I'm not going to say anything to them. I'm not going to push them, rush them, ask them. They know what they need to do, right?
Yeah.
They know. And I'm just going to leave. And I'm going to get in the car. And if they're not in the car and if they're safely where I can see them, I'm going to reverse out the driveway.
This is my favorite. I love that you did this.
And I did it.
You did
I did it.
Yes,
And it felt so
a win for all parents, I feel like, right there.
And you should have seen their faces. They were mortified. And I'll tell you something. Since that day, I have never had to rush them out the door again. As soon as they see me taking their bags to the front door, they look at each other and one of them will say, Mommy's leaving. And they will get their shoes on and get their butts in the car and let me buckle them in, which was also a very big, particularly with my 3-year-old, getting him buckled in. Oh my gosh. And yeah, it has been that in itself for me makes this whole book worth reading is that my mornings are no longer this endless hustle, stress, anxiety, running late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can fact check that because we were at the park the other day and Jade went to go get something from her car and your youngest just screamed, Mummy's coming. You didn't see it.
I didn't know that.
It's funny. I was like, it's okay. She's just getting a snack. She'll be back. He was like, Ollie, come on, let's go. I was like, wow, he is motivated.
Yes.
That is some intrinsic motivation going on.
It is. And it's so ridiculous that all it literally took was me saying nothing and just doing what I was going to do.
Yeah.
No energy, extra energy required whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot.
I think sometimes they just want a battle.
Yes.
We had last night, one of my children didn't eat their salad with their lasagna. It was so weird. I had one kid who only wanted the salad and one kid who only wanted the lasagna.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, why are you only eating salad? That's so weird. Anyway, I won't let her hear that. It's great to eat salad, kids. Sorry, trigger warning to any of your kids listening in the car. Love salad. How good's salad, Jade?
Salad is great.
Love salad. Anyway, moving along. One of them hadn't eaten the salad. And so we said, look, you can either head to bed without eating your salad and you can have it tomorrow morning for breakfast. We've all had that trick done to us once in our life, right? It's not going to harm him mentally. Like, he'll be fine. He can have salad. Or he or she.
Not giving anything away
no, I'm
here.
trying not to. They can have salad tomorrow and it'll be fine. I knew it would be a few hours of a struggle in the morning. So luckily, thank God they get up at 5 a.m, which gives us plenty of time to work on the salad problem. Usually they're in our room like, get me breakfast. I'm like, you know what your breakfast is. So
salad in the fridge.
Salad in the fridge. It did take him a solid hour. He was whining a lot about it. They were whining about it a lot in the morning. I actually was like, hey guys, just letting you know today I need to have a little, because I wanted to recap some of the bits of the book because it's been a few months since I read it. So I popped the book in my earphones, just letting you guys know I have to listen to this right now. So I won't be able to hear you. Because he just wanted to fight about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just wanted to fight about it. So yeah, I put my earphones in. I could actually hear, but I was like, I'm not going to buy into this. And then kind of took my headphones in. I was like, hey guys, checking in. How's it all going? Like, you feeling happy? That particular child was like, I've made a decision. I think tonight I'm going to eat my salad at dinner time. In the book, the author talks about kind of ignoring certain things, and it's planned ignoring. You don't have to respond to everything your child ever says to you. And I think sometimes the silence is more powerful. Because what are you going to say? Like they just want to have at it. So anyway, that was my experience this morning of
Yes.
they decided they're going to now eat their salad, and they ate it, and then they got their cornflakes just in the nick of time. I got them out the door. So it was fine.
Then she picked up her bags and she left.
But yeah, I think mornings, definitely if you struggle with mornings, this has a lot of gold in it for
Yes.
morning times.
Or even evenings.
And oh yeah.
Bedtime.
See, I don't struggle with evenings so much.
Me
I
neither
know you
anymore.
do.
No, not
I know you
anymore.
did.
Yes. Thank you.
Thing of the past.
My kids were asleep by 6:45 last night,
Wow.
which is a record for me.
I love that for you. That's
And
good.
it was no struggle whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's things like that as well that help us reserve our energy a little bit and do allow us to have more patience and be calmer in the situations we need to be. Because if you think about how alert and on we are all the time, constantly responding, even constantly praising, responding.
Being so present, it hurts. Like,
yes. Like ushering, all those little things that we actually don't need to be doing, and we're just burning so much energy on. And actually,
then you get grumpy.
yes.
Easier.
Yes. And promoting the wrong kind of reactions from our kids anyway. Like it's actually doing more harm than good.
Because you're giving it that attention.
Yeah.
Let's give attention to the positive stuff. Yeah, if you're kind of attending so much to that negative, they're like, oh, look, this is great. I'm having a big feeling meltdown. I'm getting a lot of attention from it. So I'm going to do it again because clearly that works well.
But then in saying that, even giving a lot of attention to the positive isn't always what we need to do either, right? Like as we've chatted about, it's like
more like a neutral.
Yeah. And I've definitely found that our kids are just always like, look at me, look at this, watch this. And if you're not like literally eyeballing them, they get angry at you. That kind of behavior has really dropped off a lot since I've been far less reactive.
Yeah,
totally. Oh, wow, that's an amazing drawing. Like, how beautiful. I love the colors you chose. Just being like, oh, that's nice. Or like,
yeah.
Just like keeping it really low key. And honestly, they don't seem to care that I'm not like going all out with my praise. They have the same kind of, okay, she's acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they kind of seek it less when they get less of that reaction. So there's less of this like, look at me, look at this, look at that. And I liked her point as well about the more praise you give, that kind of also fuels sibling arguments. So I think pulling back on the praise has also helped them to be arguing less because they're not competing for my praise.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I'll think more on that one. Definitely.
Listen
because
again.
we have listen again. We definitely have some competitiveness going on in our place. Were there any other thoughts on the book that you wanted to kind of talk through at all?
Yes, there is.
There is.
Yes.
Hit us, Jay.
I thought there wasn't because I'm like, I feel like I've said a lot. One of my other favorite techniques that I've picked up from this book is the calming them down by being calm yourself.
Yes.
I found that quite life-changing.
Yes.
Actually, with both of my kids, it's so easy to be triggered by their tantrums or screaming or, just being rude to you. And then you kind of mirror that almost without meaning to. And then that makes them mirror you and getting bigger and uglier and messier.
Escalating. Yeah.
Yes. You have a lot of feelings brewing as well. But I find that if I'm like, okay, super calm voice, non-reactive, and it really works. It really helps bring them down. Not all the time, but a lot of the time it does. And I think the more you model that, the more it impacts. It's the same as any of these ideas.
It's hard to remember sometimes in the moment, hey?
It is. That's why I'm reading it again.
Yeah,
I'm like,
keep this front of mind. Something I sometimes say in my brain is, who's the adult here, Courtney? Who's the child? Don't act like a child. You have control of your executive functioning. Yeah, it's so hard because it's like we have these feelings too, but we're the adult and we need to get it together sometimes.
Yes.
And if that means stepping out, like you did that other morning for just like a little breather to then be able to like enter back into the situation, that's a good thing to do. The kid can scream for a moment by themselves. They're safe to do so. And then you can come back, take ridiculous Courtney out, and I'm going to bring cool, calm, collected Courtney in, splash some water on my face,
So
whatever
calm
I need to do.
it hurts.
Yeah. I'm so calm. How slowly can I talk that it's almost ridiculous?
Exactly.
Well, thank you for sharing. So, again, for anyone who is like, I need to read this revolutionary book, it's called Hunt, Gather, Parent by Michaeline Ducliffe. I'll link it in the show notes as well. But I wanted to do a little quick lightning round with Jade as we wrap things up. So I've got a few questions here, not completely matched to our topic. Just do your best. Nice, quick one. Describe your approach to photographing your kids in a few words.
Go with the flow.
Ooh, love that. Very good. What is, just as a mum, your favourite go-to activity for the kids when things are getting wild?
Get outside.
But like very good at the few words. I'm not good at that. What are your top books you'll always go back to?
My favourite kind of book's very woo-woo.
Hit us.
The Art of Living by Eckhart Tolle.
Very good.
Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks. And at the moment, Hunt, Gather, Parent.
Oh, I never would have guessed.
Right.
Very good. Thank you for that, Jade. We can add those to our list. What camera and lens do you shoot on currently?
I shoot on a Nikon Z6 and my go-to lens at the moment is a 50mm 1.8, but I've almost saved up for my 50mm 1.2.
And one word of advice for anyone wanting to learn photography?
One step at a time. I think it's a very overwhelming realm to enter. There's a lot of different facets and elements to learn and to master. So just pick one and chip away at it day by day, even if it's just a tiny bit at a time.
That's a great idea. Thank you for stopping in, Jade, and chatting about that book with me. I know when we both opened it, we were like, oh, I can't wait to see you at the park next weekend. We can I have a story for you.
Our park chats were very dominated by that book for a while.
A solid few weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. So whereabouts can we find you on the interwebs and see more of your beautiful work? Or is there anything that you have that you could leave with us, photographer mums, to help improve our craft?
Yes. So I am at jadearchives.com and it's Jade with a Y. Thanks, Mum and Dad. Jayde. On Instagram, I'm Jade Archives Photography. And I do actually have a little freebie that I've put together. It's called Awkward to Art. And it is a guidebook about, I feel like it actually aligns quite well with this book in a way because it is about, in terms of photography, being able to let go a little bit more in your session and to allow more authentic moments to unfold. And I've just kind of compiled a few of my favorite tips on how to achieve that, whether you're having your family photos taken or whether you're taking them for your family. It's a nice little roundup.
Perfect. Well, everything you make and put out there, Jade, is beautiful. So I will be sure to include all of that in our show notes so people can connect with you, learn a little bit more from you and see what you get up to. But thank you for stopping in, and for everyone listening, have a beautiful day and make sure you go read that book. Okay, we're not paid to say that. See you later.
Bye.
It's time for Little Affections.
I have my son Oliver here with me and he is 5 years old and I'm just going to ask him a couple of questions. Are you ready, Ollie?
Yes.
So my first question for you is, what is your favourite thing to help Mummy with?
Help her doing the dishes.
No, like what's your favourite thing to help me with? We don't do dishes because we have a dishwasher, but what do you love to help me with at home?
Packing up our toys.
That is fun, isn't it? It's always good to do something together to make it go faster.
Yes.
And last one. How do you know it's time to go to school? How do you know we're leaving?
Because when you say to put clothes up, I pop them on, and then when I'm done, it's almost time to leave.
Thanks, Ollie.
Bye.
Cute. Good job, Ollie. Ollie, do you want to get Rafi?
I have my son Raphael here with me, and he is 3. And I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay, Rafi? What is your favourite thing to help Mummy do?
Make cookies.
We do love baking cookies, don't we? What do you like to help me with when we bake cookies?
Helping the mixer.
And my last question for you, Rafi, is how do you know in the morning when it's time to leave to go to daycare?
You just tell me.
Do I tell you?
Yes, you do.
Thank you, Rafi.
Perfect. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Art of Childhood podcast. All the handy links mentioned in this episode are in the show notes. I would love it if you would leave an honest review on your chosen podcasting platform. And as my son says when I'm getting into a particularly delicious snack, sharing is caring. So make sure you send this episode to a friend who may enjoy it. Go on and make some beautiful memories with your family today, and I'll catch you next time.